Okay, hello everyone. It's Believe in Business, promoting passion for business. And I'm Jennifer Beaumont White, and I have my co host with me this evening. We're going to have an amazing session this evening, bringing you some value and some education. Sam Dossa is my co host, and we're going to this is our second episode, actually, where this is our second episode of our brand new show, and it offers an opportunity for you to be our guest live with us this evening as well. So look out for the link where you can actually join us in our green room where you can pose your questions, and we'll be sharing some amazing content and sharing our journey with our audience as well. So if you have a burning question and you would like to be our guest whilst we are live, just type guest and we will share a link, and then you click on that link and you come in, and we can invite you in and you can pose your question. So just to introduce myself, I'm Jennifer Beaumont White, and I'm a business coach, I'm a life coach, and I'm the emotional freedom specialist. And I help my clients who are inspired entrepreneurs move from fear to love, and move from being stuck to being totally irresistible. Now, my clients tend to be those who want to raise their game and create a lifestyle, and business where they do what they love, make a difference in the world by being true to themselves and living life on their own terms. Now, if you want to know what emotional freedom is, as I'm the emotional freedom specialist, is overcoming your illusion of fear that stops you from being who you are meant to be in this world, and moving you back into remembering who you really are: fun-loving, fearless, free, and fulfilled, being the embodiment of love and being you. So I'm going to hand over to my wonderful, amazing co-host, Sam Dossa, and take it away, Sam.
Thank you, Jennifer. So, welcome to our show, Believe in Business, promoting passion for business. This is our second episode, as Jennifer mentioned. What we are bringing in over here is an open platform for people to come in and ask open questions to us regards to what they are going through with their journey as a businessman and a woman, because we've been through our journey as well, and we are going through with our journey right now. I'm a business coach and a mentor. I'm also a broadcaster. Been doing broadcasting from B Live platform since last year, and now I'm running 4 different episodes of B Live TV on Facebook. Uh, my area where I help a lot of people is their business, with the business coaching, mentoring, personal coaching, psychometric assessment via emotional intelligence is a very hot topic at the moment. So, how emotionally intelligent you are, EQ and IQ, we are talking about. So, when you are in a how self-aware you are when you are talking about emotional intelligence. Well, this episode, what we are going to be working towards is we are creating a series of episodes. So this is our second episode. And what we are going to be bringing in is our journey about a particular topic. And if you feel that you are uh, going through with the journey where you have some questions, please type guest, as Jennifer mentioned, and we will send you a link to bring you live with us so you can share your question as well as your journey if you like to with our audience. So today's topic we are going to be talking about is values. So when we talk about values, is it values about your core values, what your core values are, how your values has to be, you have to know what your values are, because it's all about how you're going to engage with yourself as well as your employers or your customers, because these are very important for you to understand. So the deeper we can go into it, but because our episode is going to last for another 27 minutes, we wanted to give you a lot of content, and the more content we'll give you, you have to receive from us with open receiving in an open way, So what we are planning to give you today is the more important value for this episode is ourself bringing something which is very important for a business, for an individual. What my values are five values which I live by. And I will tell you the truth, I wasn't aware of it before because I was just living with somebody else's values. Because once you are self-aware and started to know your own values, then the magic happens in your life, whether it's your personal life, whether it's your business life, whatever journey you are on, it makes a complete different shift. Because we started to work for other people and we think those are your values, we adapt those values, and that's the biggest mistake we do. We spend so many years in the company and thinking those are value I live by, and there where you are stagnated and there is no future for you. And when you come out from that job, and then you started to ponder what my values are. So my five values, my core five values: authenticity, integration or integrity, persistency, peace, and love. And I live by them. And these where I stand by and see when I work with some people, if those our values are being met, we create magic. If there are four of them are met, we still create magic. But the less than four, you have to work harder on those things, because then you don't have to run behind. Somebody has to come with an open heart, with open values, and bring them something towards working as a concrete base to build their empire on them. Without the concrete base, it is going to wash away when there will be a tide comes in. So that's what my five core values are. To you,
Mhm.
Jennifer.
Okay, fantastic. I mean, the values piece is so important. Your values are the things that the attributes that are so important to your life. Your values are your drivers. They get you up in the morning. They keep you up at night. They're so important that you'll do anything to align with your values. And if you are working with a company or with staff who aren't aligned with your values, then you find it's a really, as Sam says, it's really sticky, treacly movement because everybody's like, what you might find important is not important to members of your staff or even your clients, and it's really difficult to get that synergy, that alignment going on. I tend to have in my business soul shift principles program, I have number four is the fourth principle is values, and we spend the whole session, it's that important that we spend this whole session on working out what your top four values are. And I use this template here. I don't know if you can see it, but we list out the values and then we pitch one against each other so that we get the top, get them in some kind of order, and we work with the top three or four. Now mine, if you want to know mine, my top value is freedom, which is, it shows in everything that I do. I can't, working for someone is not in my agenda. I need to have freedom within my how I operate my business. I encourage my clients to have freedom within their business as well. The second one is financial independence, because without some kind of financial stability, you can't help anybody else. Basically, you're relying on either the state or friends or family. You need to have that financial independence so you can actually have your own autonomy. So that's important for me. Knowledge, I have a thirst for knowledge sometimes to the detriment, because I spend so much time trying to find the answer, look for the answer, research, where sometimes I've got to say, hey, stop, I know enough now, come on, stop. And then the fourth one is love, unconditional love, because with love is everything. Love is the universe, love is God, and I just feel love is so important to me. Without love, there's no point in doing anything really. You have to have that radiance of love going out and that love coming back in as well. So if you're not in alignment with your core values, we spend a lot of time on that. If you're not in alignment, you find that you're heading in the wrong direction. It's very treacly. It's like walking, trying to swim upstream. it is really tough. Once you're in alignment, it's like everything just flows. It's like you've got the wind in your sails and you're just sailing along. But to get to that point, I mean, I've had clients come back to me 7, 8 years ago say, "Oh, Jen, that thing that you did with the values, I still have it, and it's still, it's still one of the most important things that really shifted my thinking." So values are really, really core.
Absolutely, absolutely. So this episode is all about giving value to this content what we are going to be sharing today. Value, you know what your values are. If you don't know your value, we are thinking of doing something amazing. We will be sharing that on this platform for you guys. So if you think what you are looking for, and if you can think that we, myself and my co-host Jennifer, can be able to help, please do not hesitate to contact us. We're going to be sharing our links over here about booking a discovery session with us. And also, if you are available to join us live, please just type guest and we will send you a link where you can join us live and ask any question if you have. And you think that if that
Yeah.
question, what you're going to be asking, if you want to give us an answer from us, with our journey we've been through, we will be obliged and humble to give you the answer, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, and share our knowledge with you, our wisdom with you, and that's why we are
Yeah.
here to offer to our audience.
It's also I think it's also open for if anyone wants to actually if they've got an insight of it or an experience that they've been through themselves in terms of their business and looking at their values and an insight about how realizing their values has really made a difference to their staff or their customers, or even being an employee in a big business as well. So that would be really interesting if anybody wants to join us with that. So we're looking for our first guest who wants to join us. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. If you feel that you can join us and share your values or share your journey with us, please just type guest, and we will invite you to join us to this live platform.
Mhm.
It's a very a live, and we are not going to bite you guys because we are very friendly people.
Oh gosh.
So
So
it
Sam,
starts. Yeah.
so if you
Go
have
ahead.
you had any sort of adverse experiences with someone not being aligned with your values, or maybe a client who's had a problem or a challenge with their values not being aligned?
Yeah, what happened is actually the previous jobs which I have done. I used to work in IT industry for 20 years, and I was not aware of my own values at that time. I was aware of only one value, which was serving others, and which is also quite a significant value for me to serve others. And that was where I was actually working, which was my quite a upper, what I call it, the first value I used to live by. I still live by that value as well. What I meant by that,
Mm-hmm.
I only look at that way, and I was working for somebody and receiving their value, and I wasn't understanding that there are other values related to those things. And adverse effect on me was that I was very naive, to be honest, to be gullible, and people used to take advantage of me,
Mm-hmm.
and they've taken advantage of me in terms of the bosses used to take advantage of for me, not giving me a
Yeah.
right appraisal, not giving me a right directions. And I was being like working in the company for 5 6 years, not progressing to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
sitting in the same place, sitting earning the same money, because I was being not given that opportunity. I was not aligned with the values. My values were not aligned with their values, and it affected me. I was
Mm-hmm.
living the fear of losing the job as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
that was quite a detrimental effect on me at that time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, as for me, I mean, in terms of the not being aligned with my values, in terms of freedom being my core number one value, I've had brick and mortar businesses. I've had a hair salon, I've had a designer children's clothes shop, and I'm all excited getting everything all together and everything, and opening the door, and the customers come. But then this huge feeling of feeling trapped. I'm trapped in this space. I've got to manage. I've got to order. I've got to do all the everything that I need to do inside these four walls. And it's like I couldn't understand why I wasn't enjoying it. Why wasn't, I mean, I had everything, it was being successful as well. And I just couldn't understand why I was being unhappy. It's only when I got more into coaching, because I have autonomy. I can be anywhere. I'm actually up in London now. I'm up visiting my mom and some friends. The other week I was in Los Angeles. I'm living on the southeast coast, and I have my laptop. I have freedom, and I can speak to my clients anywhere in the world. I have clients all over the world as well. So this freedom is like, okay, that's my number one thing. Make sure that the freedom is there before I do anything else. So yeah, once it's aligned, and there's other people, the freedom is too much. It's like they need that confinement. They need to know where they have to be at a certain time, and they're really secure in that. So security might be one of their top values, whereas like it's not mine. I'm a risk taker. I love my freedom, and it tends to pay off for me. So it is important that you know how to align. And we if whoever's watching, Sam and I, we can help you to discover your values, so that once they're in line, you can take the next step much more easily. You can be much more in flow. I just wanted to find out, Sam, if you have you're a business owner and you have your own values very much in line, and you know what you're doing, how do you actually align your staff to be in alignment with your company values? I mean, have you got any thoughts on that?
Well, I do not have any staff at this present moment, but I have clients whom I work with. So working with the clients is also important for me, to work with those clients whose values are actually connect with me, and their values. Maybe when we do a value exercise, we understand. When we started to do a initial conversation or discovery call, there are a lot of things comes together, and then a person, we as a business, we've been running a business for a long time, we can actually understand what other people are coming from, and what sort of values they are carrying with them, and what sort of areas required to them to be fulfilling for going forward with their life. And what I understood during this journey, that when I'm self-aware of my values, I can be able to transpire other people's value as well. And the rapport started building up. We started to create some commonality on the ground, that these are the common ground where we are going to start stepping on the next level of working together. And if there is no sort of, I'll give you an example. I started to have a conversation with this gentleman, and we created some common ground, but what I call it, there was a certain values which did not connect with him, which does not connect with him, which allows me to reflect on it, that was just an episode of being connecting with that person. Initially was right, but from the longer term, I'm look at it, this is not going to be the right thing, because certain degree you're looking at authenticity. In my case, serving others, authenticity, and there is no transparency and no authenticity, I will just go away from those people. I says, I can't work with you, and that's fair enough. Being honest is fair enough. You need to be honest and who you work with. So on those areas, I always look at it, and then I'll say, okay, this is where I am, and you need to be very, very professional and be honest that, sorry, I can't work with you because my values are not aligned with you. Because I've seen a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, a lot of coaches or mentors, they just want to have business because they only think the money is the driving force for them. But for me, is being authentic to my client is very important. I can't work with somebody.
And you usually find that if you're taking it just for the money, and you're not being honest, not being transparent, not being authentic, at the end of the day, the client doesn't get the result that they're supposed to get, and then you end up with maybe some, a bad vibe going on. They're upset because they haven't got what they needed from you, and the whole thing is a real bad exercise. It's a bad journey. So right from the beginning where you are with your client, and then from there you can say totally honestly, I don't want to work with you, or you wouldn't say it like that, but you can't, you're incompatible, and then you can maybe recommend some other colleagues who might be more compatible, and obviously they'll be referring to you as well, because each of us as coaches, mentors, we have our own way, our own style, and that's what makes us unique. So technically there isn't any competition. We are just who we are, and we resonate with the people that we resonate with. So there's no point in hanging on to a client just for the money, because at the end of the day it could actually be to your detriment. It's best to have been in complete congruency with your client, and if you're not, pass them on to someone who they can be congruent with. My thing is always, I'm very sort of okay, let's go, there's nothing to fix, you're on point, you're going for it, you're raising to the next level, you're an achiever, let's move forward. However, if I come across somebody who's potentially, they need lifting up, they need that boost, they need moving forward, I'm not your guru. I'm not the one for you. I have someone else who's really, like, she actually works with that kind of person who's like low down there. She's got the patience to work with the person to get them to the level where they want to be inspirational. And with you as well, Sam, you specialize in burnout. So if I come across with someone who's burnt out, Sam's your man. I'm not the person who's going to be working with you. I'm a high achiever. Are you ready to rock? Are you ready to raise to the next level? Let's make this thing happen kind of coach. So we're all different. We've all got our own speciality.
Yeah, because we have to create a niche. You can't just say I'm a coach. I'm a coach. Everybody's a coach.
Yeah.
You can get a Joe Bloke who is going to be a coach as well. It's all about, if you complete a certification and you say I got a certification, I'm a coach. Everybody believes you have a certification, but being authentic, being knowing yourself first. We all wanted to help other people. Know your values. Values are very important, and then you will be able to work with people. Otherwise, what you're creating is, okay, there are a lot of people, as I said, a lot of people then get into what I call it, when we say, okay, do you have a mentor, or you are a new coach, you should have a mentor. Well, so no, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy to help other people. Yeah. I know we've been through this journey, and we have learned what is quite beneficial for us to have a coach or a mentor to grow our business. And if we wouldn't do that, we are not going to be sitting where we are sitting right now, sharing our knowledge, sharing our values, sharing our things with people. We would be here, okay, everybody knows everything, so we are just sitting over here. Yeah, what's the point? Absolutely point. So that's quite important for a new business owner, or people who are actually working within a professional as a professional in the company. Do they know their value, or do they know their company's values? Are they aligned or not? Are your boss's values are aligned to your values? Because if your boss's value is something else, and if you are looking at your boss and expecting that he should look at your values, it won't happen. You need to understand what your values are, and that's where a lot of people get a big setback in their life going forward. I've been working with a lot of people who has worked in big banks for 30, 40 odd years. They came out and I asked a simple question: what your values? They started telling me their company's values. I said, these are not your values, these are your company values. What are your values? I'm not aware of my values. I've always been working for this company for the last 40 years, so those are my values now. So how could it be? Well, those are your values. So doing that exercise for them help them to understand what their values are. And then they started to look for another position or a business for themselves, that this is my values, and this business or this franchise actually is going to work with me or work for me because my values are connected with that business.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's so important. I do believe that there are companies who are really forward thinking now, who are really looking at the individual. They're well, I always say that there's two customers that they've got to take into account. They're paying customers and they're primary customers. The primary customer is their staff, the people who are working with them, working for them. So that's your primary customer. Make sure that your primary customer is in alignment with you. Make sure that you're looking after them. Make sure you're aware of what's going on for them. And quite a few companies are like putting their people before profit, and then they're seeing the profits growing because they're really like, what's happening for you, Mr. Salesperson? What's happening for you, Mr. Manager or Mrs. Manager? They're really trying to find out what's going on for their staff and bringing in. I think there's quite a few companies who are taking on board emotional intelligence as well while they're doing the interviewing and things like that.
Yes.
So, you know, it's a long way to go, but it is hugely beneficial to the company.
Yeah, it's happening. It's happening, and it's quite important that you are in whatever position you are in, whether you are a individual, whether you are a boss, whether you are a CEO, whether you are a business owner. If you are not aware of your own values, how are you going to connect with your employers or employees' values? Because end of the day, your employees are your ambassador. They are not just a number.
Absolutely.
But they are your ambassador. And if you are not looking after your ambassador, what is going to happen is when they work for you, they are not singing your hymns. They are not singing the same hymn from the same hymn sheet. They are singing somebody else's hymn. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they looking forward to come to work, or they are dreading to come to work? Yeah. They are happy, if they are content, if their values are being matched, they will give not only 100%, they will give you 200%.
Yeah, because they're really
your
happy.
work.
Yes. Yeah. Have we got any comments or questions, or anybody wants to join us? We've got a few minutes left, I think.
Well, people have said hello. Mac Donald has said hello. Ali Husseini has said hello. A couple of people have given us likes. Thank you for your generosity. Really appreciated. I have put a link as well for people who would like to join us in the comment. So if you like to join us live with us, there is a link here. You need to use Google Chrome to connect with us live. So just join us, and we will see you are in our lobby section, and we will invite you in while we are online at the moment. I've also added Jennifer's discovery session link. So if you like to book a session with Jennifer, please go ahead, click on the link, and she will be very happy to have a discovery session with you. And I'm putting my discovery session for you guys as well. So if you like to book a discovery session with me, please just book a link, click on the link, and it will book you for a 20-minute session with me and Jennifer. So
well, I'm offering the 30 to 45 minutes for my discovery session, and they actually walk away with a 10 days plan of action. Once they've once we've gone through things, then we can I'll set up a little plan for them to walk away with.
Yeah, 20 minutes, because I'm using Candly at the moment, which offers 20 minutes free. So I usually offer 30 to 35 minutes or 40 minutes as well. And we are just giving you this link so you can book, and we can devise upon how we're going to give you value for your time as value for what we can offer you better. So today's topic was about values. Do you want to add anything else regards to values, Jennifer?
I think we've covered everything in terms of how important they are. They're the things that are really important to you in life. So they're the attributes that that are your drivers. And if you do not know what your core values are, you need to have them assessed. Sam has a system that he uses to evaluate your values. I have a whole session in my business soul shift principles program that I spend time with, and it has proven to be really valuable to my clients and obviously Sam's clients as well. So get your values sorted, get them aligned, and we can actually help you do that as well. So yeah, it's really important that you make sure you know what they are, and they're not your company. If you're working for a company, they're not your values. They might be, but you don't know if you haven't found out. And make sure that your staff, if you run the business yourself, your staff and your team and your customers are more or less in alignment with your values as well. And it's really important going forward as well, because a lot of companies are taking these things on board. Emotional intelligence in terms of, your values, your empathy, your compassion, all of those kind of things people are taking on board when hiring staff, working with their teams, and promoting to their customers. So yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for sharing that as well. So thank you for joining us today. Believe in business, promoting passion in business. This was our episode 2, and now what we are doing going forward is we are creating a content where we also have a space, or we will call it within the show. We have an opportunity for people to come live with us and talk with us. So not today, well, next Monday we're going to be back with another episode. So if you, during this period, if you're thinking that you can be live with us, please do not hesitate to come along, because we would like to hear your journey as well as we are sharing our journey with you. So please do come along and share your journey with us and ask questions if there are any questions which you would like to ask us. Yeah. And we are happy to help you and support you and make sure that we will help you to grow your business within whether the business, whether your self journey, where you are, because Jennifer got so many skill sets, as well as myself got different skill sets, because that's why we are combining these skill sets to bring something more exciting for the world to hear from us. And we are just humble servant. We are sharing our knowledge, we are sharing our wisdom to all of you. So please do not hesitate to ask, do not hesitate to connect with us. Our connection, our information is in the comments. So for now, we would still like to say good night and all the best for the rest of the week. Bye for now.
Fantastic. Thank you. Have an amazing week, and thank you, Sam.